What's up, chat fans, viewers, and everybody else out there in the podcast world? Welcome to the Homies Overtime Podcast. I'll be your host tonight, Mr. B Dirt, Brandon Harriet. We got Pay Saunders, Big G, and Tate Boy in the building. What's up, fellas?
What's up, Dirt? What's cracking? You know, we get out.
We did allude to a little bit of what we're going to go over here. If you guys listen to the first show, the Homies Podcast, I'll start off with the one thing that leaks over from the AFC North. Antonio Brown. So we've watched this be a slow burn for quite some time now, but it seems like he's burnt through all his cash.
I like that. I like that wordplay. Excellent job.
What's your take on it, Pay? I mean, is something he gonna bounce back from, or is he gonna ride off into the sunset? I mean, if you see him on Twitter or X, you know he ain't quiet.
Well, that answers that second question. Ain't no riding off to no sunset unless that sunset is a mental health facility. So I figured that this was going to happen at some point because you know what happens with people with money and fools with money, they're soon separated from themselves, right? He's piled up a lot more civil charges than paychecks in the last 2, 3, 4 years since he abruptly quit the NFL, and he's burned a lot of bridges. I don't see him having any other avenue of making said money to pay any of those debtors. Did I say that right? Debtors.
Yeah.
That he's currently trying to get out of in bankruptcy court. Unless that he was named, what was it, president of Yeezy's, Kanye West's sports. What was it? It was a sports agency, right? He was named president of that, and I think that's failed already as well. So yeah, credit. Yep. Thanks a lot, after.
Yep.
So to me, I don't see any way how this is a redemption story coming along down the road. I don't see a 30 for 30 with a happy ending for Antonio Brown.
So my takeaway on your comments is if you don't have income coming in, you can't throw sofas off of balconies. Got it.
It makes perfect sense to me.
Big G, what's your take on it, my man?
He's big cooked. That's my take. He's big cooked. It's over with for him, bro. He needs to actually go get some help. I was on the show on PYB on Wednesday, and I was talking about mental health awareness and promoting mental health stuff. And I'm not being funny when I say this. Something has been wrong with him.
You're the one on this panel that would probably have the most compassion.
Yeah, something's wrong with him. He actually needs some help. I wish he would, because what's happening is now his mental health and his substance use is showing up. I'm hearing rumors out there and stuff that he's drinking. He's closing bars and stuff down, you know, and running up tabs and all this other stuff that's going on. And that's a sheer sign that his mental health is not right. So, you know, he's got some stuff going on. He's been he hasn't been right to me since he got hit against the Bengals, and it's just been slowly deteriorating. So at this point, he might not make it too far, so he might be a CTE study because to find out actually what happened to his brain, because something is wrong with AB. And I hope that he gets some help. I really do, man. Because if not, you know, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad to see a guy, especially undersized wide receiver, that just at one point in time was the best receiver in the league. Yeah. For sure. Tate? Most productive. Okay, most productive. Tate
versus what? Most productive versus what?
Best.
Oh, well, he was the best.
He was number 1.
6, 7 years. You know that.
I say for at least 4, he was number 1.
But as far as his current situation, man, Antonio Brown made $80 million in the NFL, which is a lot of money. I mean,
big money.
If he was playing now in his prime, he'd be getting $30 million a year.
Big facts.
But and now when he filed bankruptcy earlier this week, he claimed his net asset worth is $50,000.
Boy, he smoked it all.
80 million league to 50 million. And he probably does need some type of counseling. I don't know if it's mental health counseling, if it's just life coaching or whatever type of counseling it is, he needs it. Mm-hmm. Probably, I would say. Antonio Brown is he just wild, man. But it's a lot of dudes like that. We know a lot of dudes. Y'all know dudes like that. We know dudes like that. He got hired as the president of what was the name of it?
Creditors.
No, the president of Yeezy Sports.
Yeah, Yeezy Sports.
Got but he running with another crazy dude right there.
Yeah.
Don't make the best choices.
Right. And you got somebody else enabling you. I was listening to something today. They was talking about one of the podcasts, the Steel City, something else. They was talking about some guests when they were talking about Mike Tomlin and what a great job he did that we never know, just keeping AB under wraps for 9 years.
Yeah.
It kind of stuff started to kind of blow up when he was doing the Facebook Live in the locker room and got caught. The team was having a meeting saying something about the Patriots, and that was out there on Facebook Live. They was playing the Patriots the next weekend. I believe it may have been the AFC Championship game. I don't remember one of them games. Yeah, but yeah.
From afar looking at him, y'all, he's got depression. He's severely depressed from afar. I mean, I can't diagnose him because I don't have enough information, but he's got severe depression.
Yeah, I'm just rooting for the guy, man. I mean, I'm from the music, at least the music back in the mid 2000s and stuff. I'm a fan of Yeezy, and he cold plumb crazy too. But I still root for the guys that do well and don't have anything that harms them happen to him and stuff like that. He can get back though because of his name and who he is. He's not gonna be bankruptcy or broke like if we was bankrupt or broke. His name has some value to it, whether he goes and do something, sign autographs, whatever he do, he can make some money for himself. Just get smarter with it the next time. It won't be 80 million though.
Yeah, he's not gonna be able to live that lifestyle he's been living. That's for
Facts.
Sure.
Maybe that's what's best because he doesn't need to be anywhere high off the ground with furniture that he can pick up.
Will we say the same thing about Allen Iverson?
You know what? That ran through my head. Who was the bigger one? But Allen Iverson's parents saved him from himself by getting that trust and saying once he turned a certain age, he would get X amount of money from Reebok. Parents
do that. Reebok did that for him. Yeah. Reebok put in the trust.
Yeah, but he's the president of the freaking company. So, Allen Iverson did way better. But as far as being out there and doing a lot of stuff, AI was out there, bro.
Well, and AI has spoke about gambling addiction. Yeah. Was a big part of his issues and persona and keeping him out late at night and doing wild things.
Yeah.
So
buying the bar too. He bought the bar too. AI on the regular. Buy the bar.
Someone who did not buy the bar, but also found himself in a bit of trouble. Scottie Scheffler went from the green jacket to the orange jumpsuit.
Nice.
And that was, I'll tell you, T-shirts hit on barstool.com the following day. It was out there. Scottie Scheffler in the orange jumpsuit. The crazy thing to me about this, right? For those of you who have been working too hard all week, thank you for all that you do. But I'll tell you what he did last weekend was he tried to drive to a golf tournament, the PGA Championship. Unfortunately, there was an accident where actually someone passed, and he misunderstood, according to him, what they were trying to get him to do, and he went around. And the police report said that he ran into a police officer and drug him with his car. That it ripped his uniform beyond repair, and injured the police officer's shoulder. If you watch the replay of it, the police officer runs up on the side of his vehicle and hits it. So that police officer actually has already been, I think he's suspended, if I'm not mistaken, from Louisville Police Department. He's been punished for not turning on his body cam and for his actions that they caught on camera. Now, I don't know what led up to all this. I don't know what it is. But the seriousness of that is a second-degree felony for, quote-unquote, dragging a police officer. Gee, I mean, they're still going forward with this prosecution of this the number one golfer in the world. I think it's pretty obvious that what's on paper is not what was on film. What's your take on it or thoughts on this subject?
Well, the first thing is shame on the PGA. How in the world?
Brandon, they're not pressing charges anymore.
I don't know about that.
As of this afternoon, I saw they were.
Yeah, but it's big shame on the PGA. What this guy's playing in a tournament. I understand that there was an accident and stuff that happened a little ways up the road. They were trying to control traffic. But why is Scottie Scheffler driving his own car? Number one, he's on tour at a major event. He should not be riding around anywhere by himself. Number one. Number two, that even if you allow him to be riding around himself, why do you not have PGA people around him when he's making moves? Because this is your superstar. That is the equivalent of letting LeBron James just ride around by himself somewhere. This is the equivalent of it, right? And I don't understand what the PGA was thinking about by allowing this kid to have that freedom to move like that. You know, you can't have any chances. I don't know, and I've been around some big-time superstar athletes before in my life. I've never seen a big-time superstar athlete ever travel without entourage. Never. I've never seen it happen. So why this guy's moving? And this is like literally right before an event.
Well,
like they teed off.
Dark out. It's 4 or 5
but they were going to
a.m.
tee off. Right, they were going to tee off. You know,
every single golfer that was driving there was either themselves or them and their caddy. It wasn't an entourage. Not one golfer does it.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Maybe golf needs to look how they operate, because you don't let your superstar ride without entourage, man. That's just my thing.
Entourage only would have stopped him from driving. He was the one out there drinking and did all wild and stuff.
No, Scheffler wasn't drunk.
Scheffler wasn't drinking?
No. He didn't have.
We're talking about Scottie Scheffler. No. He was dead sober going to the golf course to play in the PGA Championship.
Yeah. Somebody got hit up the road and got killed in an accident. So they were trying to control traffic.
How did he get into it with the police?
So the police said that he didn't listen to what they were telling him.
Yep.
And that he hit a police officer and drugged the police officer with his car. Yep.
Okay.
So, but when they show the film, the police officer runs up to the back of the front driver's side quarter panel and hits the side of the car.
Yep.
Like with his arm.
Yeah, he does. Yep.
It's really weird. It's under investigation. I'm looking because Brandon Watson said he heard they aren't pressing. As of 3 hours ago, it said that they still plan on going forward, but they are under investigation as well.
Yeah, but I just don't see how you let the guy move like that. That's just me. I understand that the golfers do what they do, but bro, this is your not your GOAT, but this is your prime time asset. You can't let him move around the way he want to move around without having people around him. You just can't do that, bro. You can't take that chance.
I don't know. I can't see the entourage.
Let me say this, man. We used to hold like Jesse Owens's. He set 5 world records and tied a 6 in 45 minutes at the Olympics.
Facts.
Deion Sanders, he played in a World Series game and an NFL game in the same day.
Facts.
But let me tell you this: nothing compares to getting booked on felony for assaulting a police officer, bonding out, and then going to shoot 66 at the PGA Championship. That's a crazy 24 hours.
He was killing it.
Stretched in a jail cell. Did
Yeah.
all the stretching exercises in a jail cell.
Yeah.
Got to the course about an hour before he was supposed to tee off, and went out and shot 66.
Did you see that the news
I can do
reporter
the
tried
same
to say
thing, but I got to stop after about the whole 11.
But the news reporter that was there for CNN, he tried to save him. He was like, "Bro, do you know who that dude is?"
Yeah.
And dude was like, "I don't care who he is. I don't care." And I'm like, "Bro, that's Scheffler, man. With nah, bro. We need to work this out over here and let him go, bro." So there was something else going on right there. And whether or not we find out, I don't know.
Other people were going the same way.
Yeah, they was all trying to get into the thing
And
for the event.
Someone had went in front of him, and there were people coming from behind him. He just was the car that the police officer got to.
Yeah. Bro, that's what I'm saying about that entourage, bro. Maybe that's, that's just my thinking, bro. That's just my thinking.
Hey, you know how much you got to pay me for an entourage to go to a golf course at 4:30 in the morning?
Okay, so maybe it's caddy and his agent, or it's caddy and his handler. You got to have at least two people around this guy, bro.
Oh,
I'm saying, who name me a top athlete, and I'm asking y'all, name me a top athlete that don't move with at least two people. And like I said, I've been around some famous people, and they move with two
Troy
people.
Polamalu.
No, he moved with people.
I used to see Michael Jordan drive to the game himself. Kobe too.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it.
Yeah. But maybe not now.
How many people do you need for it to be an entourage?
At least two.
Nah, that's a crew.
Is it? That's
a crew. That's not.
What's a posse then, Phil Jackson?
A posse is at least 4.
A posse's 4. Entourage is over 6, right? 6.
I think an entourage is over 6.
So,
how many guys were in the show Entourage in the Entourage?
Ooh, that's next on my bench list.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. But 2, man. I mean, I don't know, bro. You can't, if your stars are your stars, and you can't take the risk to put yourself in a position where anything like this could ever happen. And I understand it was a spur of the moment thing, but even like I said, with the CNN reporters and them out there saying, "Hey, do you know who this guy is?" And I'm not saying he's above the law. I'm not saying that either. But what I'm saying is that should have never happened. Never in a million years. And I'm quite sure
sometimes police just react. What's the old black dude name, the historian? He got arrested going through his own window to his own house when he's locked up. Police can't give him a hell of time.
Who?
And then
no, the scientist Neil deGrasse
That was him?
Tyson?
No, I don't think it was him. No, I'm with you though, G. You gotta roll with enough people that they can't put you all in the back of a squad car. They can't arrest all of us. They can't arrest all of us.
Yeah. And somebody gonna find out who somebody is. You see what I'm saying? Like, like I said, I'm not above the law, not that. Because this ain't no Ray Rice issue. I mean, not Ray Rice, Ray Lewis issue where he was at a club and kicking it and doing, this ain't that. This is
he was going to work.
He's literally going to work, going through the roadblock to get to the event. And nobody knew who he was until CNN
Lewis
said
Gates
something.
Jr. Lewis Gates Jr.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, nobody knew who he was. So something just don't settle right with this. And I still ain't about the police. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Something don't smell right.
Big G.
Something's wrong.
You don't got no problem because you were bar the police.
I would about 30 years ago, but not now.
Big G said, police can't mess with me. I'll bar the police.
About 30 years ago, I was talking crazy, but not now.
You had my mom cracking up, but she still bring that up sometimes.
I'm an old man that's got some sense about himself. I got too much vested interest now, man. I ain't tripping. I'm gonna follow the instructions of the officers. But still, man, this, it's to me, it's just Nah, something don't smell right. There's something wrong with this. Especially, like I said, I saw the video footage after B, but when I first saw it, and then I saw it on CNN, and the CNN dude was there, you could see the officers like had him handcuffed and they was walking him to the car. And the CNN dude is like, wait a minute, do you know who the heck that is? He got to go tee off here in about, he's going his way like this right here, bro. What are we doing?
And he was going around, just pointed out over here in the comments, in the players lane. They were in the players lane trying to get around the traffic.
Yeah, something don't smell right.
It's off.
Yeah.
So we did touch a little bit on the 2026 NFL draft coming to the Steel City.
Yeah.
That's something you really gonna do, G?
Book it.
Book it?
Book it. I already done said. I told him on Pump Your Brakes on Wednesday, book it. I'm going to be there. And like I said, if I can't get no room, B-Dirt, I'll spend the night.
So
I'm spending the night from Wednesday to Sunday. I'm spending the night. Tate, don't get fined, Tate. I got you.
He keeps saying that, B-Dirt. He really spending the night because I done seen him do it already at your old buddy house, the old other white boy of the year, Jeff Osborne, back 30 years ago. Big G was sleeping in his boxers and socks and Jeff waterbed.
Spend the night.
I ain't got no waterbed.
But I'll spend the night,
ain't
man.
Gonna be in it.
I'll spend the night, man. Big sleep.
So
it was Freaky Friday pay back then.
Some stuff going on. There's stuff going on in the basement.
There was stuff going on.
So the Pittsburgh Steelers have more fans throughout the country than probably any other NFL franchise.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't understand how Pittsburgh or haven't been to actually Pittsburgh or spent a lot of time here, there's no grid to the city as far as getting around it, traffic wise. It's a hot mess if you don't know where you're going. And now you're going to close down some roads and do some things. There's the point where downtown is, and then across the Allegheny River is the North Shore, and that's where the stadiums and stuff are.
Yep.
And they're supposedly going to tie those two things together. They're going to have stuff at the point downtown and stuff over in the North Shore.
How the heck they going to do that?
Man,
how they going to do it? How they going to do it, bro? How they going to do it?
But if this thing keeps growing at the rate it's growing, and you're talking about having 400,000 people here in one day, it's going to be chaos getting in and out of this city, man. It's going to be wild.
Get you a helicopter.
Bro, I just want to know where they're going to put the event. Where they going to put the event? Because they said they can't have it at the stadium. So where in the heck are they going to put it?
So the event's going to be between the football stadium and the baseball stadium. There's like parking lots back there, and there's a stage AE. That's where they're going to have it. It's going to be a mess.
There's no freaking way, bro. They need that parking for that area for all those people that's going to flood in there, bro. There's no freak. I mean, I've been trying to figure out logistically if they're saying it's not going to be at the stadium.
Nightmare.
Where's it going to be at? Where's it going to be at? Because I'd have been over there before, and in my head, I'm going through like where, and I'm like, bro,
every time it's somewhere, every place it's been, Nashville, Detroit, Philadelphia, it's not in the stadium.
Mm-mm.
It's usually at like a park or a center-centric place within the city that expands out, and you can, congregate a lot of people.
Peter, does Pittsburgh have one of those places? Because I'm trying to figure it out. And
right now, they're planning on it being in the streets, which was kind of the way it was. When you look at Detroit, was a little bit similar to that. Nashville was very similar to that. And very similar to Nashville, it's going to be leading up to the river here in the North Shore. It's going to make a really cool backdrop. That backdrop of the stage, from my understanding, I haven't seen the finality of it yet, though, is going to be over the river, and you're going to see off to the left side of the stage, you'll see the downtown skyline. I mean, it's going to be gorgeous.
Well, that's good news. That's good news, B, because G is the streets.
He is the streets. Does that make you the NFL draft in 2026?
It should be. Should be.
Hey, I agree with Dirt. I done been there to visit him a few times. I got a sister that lived there, and I mean, from the standpoint of logistically, I'm sure they'll make it work, but it's going to be challenging. And people that live there that don't care nothing about the draft is going to be upset that weekend.
No. And people that know that want from here that want to go to the draft, we know how to navigate it. We know where we can get to, where you can park, where you can take the T from, and just the T will plop you. It goes under the river and just plop you right there.
Yeah.
It's the people that don't live in this area that come in from out of town. It's going to be logistical nightmare.
I tell you what, I've been out here in the DC area for 20 years now. I've been to a couple inaugurations, couple of the Million Man marches, and all kind of different stuff. And but I think because DC is used to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, and they got the Capitol Police set and stuff.
Also set up as a grid.
It is. Yeah, it is. Okay.
This way, that way. That's how the roads run.
Right. Yeah, because
the roads in Pittsburgh are a plate of spaghetti.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but DC not the best grid. It's really it's circular, and the streets go like spokes. You can get lost if you don't know what you're doing going between northwest and southwest and northeast and southeast. Yeah.
Tate, I remember the last time we was over there, you started hitting some of them streets in the DC area. He was like, damn, man, this is a one-way. I got to double back. And we went, and I was like, damn, man, how, it's like we had to wind into that bad baby. I was like, man, what is going on, bro?
Yeah, you got to know what you're doing.
So, Pay, have we sold you on coming up?
So look, I've been in Atlanta going on 3 years come Labor Day, and I've traveled all over the world, and I thought a grid system was the standard in America, right?
No.
I thought this type of non-grid thing was a European thing because I've ridden around in Spain and all other places. I thought that was a European thing. Chicago is built on a grid as well.
Yep.
I got to Atlanta and long winding roads, and they meet at an intersection with 3 roads just meet right there, and it's like traffic backed up. And to go, I was like, traffic nightmare, infrastructure down here sucks. And so everything you just said in the last 10 minutes told me I would be catching this on TV.
Afton has said beautifully right here. I love the 5 and 6-way intersections. The best thing about Pittsburgh is the 5 and 6-way intersections are a close second for me. The number one is when you're going over a bridge and it's 6 lanes wide, and you got to get from the far right lane to the far left lane in about a quarter of a mile in order to get in your tunnel.
Ain't happening, bro.
Oh, it happens. It happens.
Somebody,
you better get your white knuckles ready because I'm getting over there.
Head on a swivel. Hey, but listen, the only city I've ever been in who doesn't have the infrastructure and no grid, worse than Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, is Austin, Texas. I lived there for years. They have no infrastructure. It's horrible. But Pittsburgh is a close second, bro. Pittsburgh is a close second, bro.
If you do come, I'm going to tell you where to stay.
Yep.
If it's not with me, it's going to be right here in the neighborhood. We're going to take the T in. No traffic fights. Pay, you're welcome to come. Tate, whoever wants to come. Anybody out there, chat fan, wants to come over, hit us up. We'll tell you where to go. We should do something for the 2026 draft.
We need to do a draft, our own show, like in the parking lot somewhere and set it up. That would be boss. The homies show in the parking lot for this draft. Oh, my God. You know how much rhythm we would get off of that, bro? Because the whole chat fam that rocks with us on Steel Curtain Network is going to be over there.
I'll bring the copter.
I got some connections in the restaurant bar industry.
I'm saying let's do it. I'm in. I'm coming anyway, but I'm in. But I'm telling you, the whole 11.7 is going to rock with us, man. We're going to turn it up. So I'm with it. I'm all the way down with that. Do a whole show. We could do a 2-day show. I don't care.
It'd be good time. Good time.
Yeah.
Speaking of time, it's that time for us to hear from our sponsors. Take a quick break. While we do so, hit that like, subscribe, notification, tell a friend to tell a friend, share us, tag somebody you know that likes football or sports in general on this overtime show, because we're going to get out of football talk and into some college sports and basketball when we get back. We'll be right back in just a few seconds if you're watching on YouTube, and after a few short messages if you're out there in podcast land. Welcome back to the Homies Overtime Podcast. We are going to get in. JJ52 says, I like football. JJ, so do we. So do we. But we're going to pivot a little bit to some NCAA news. Fun part about this, I've really started diving more into this recently in the past year or two. And now that this happened, a lot more, and I will be doing a lot more reading this weekend. But did you know the NCAA, all their money funded comes from March Madness?
Mm-hmm. I found that out this week as well.
Yeah,
the Big Five power conferences take all the football money back now.
Yep, I knew that.
So it's a little interesting thing they got going on.
But the lawsuit, bro.
The lawsuit, multiple lawsuits, multiple parts to the lawsuit. But the NCAA has an antitrust lawsuit that the settlement offer is $2.8 billion. That's with a B. That's a big as a big number.
As in Burrow.
Yeah,
man.
I'm
surprised he might ask for $2.8 billion.
As in about big, big.
Hey, man, I'm gonna let you run with this. Like, what do you think this means in the grand scope? I mean, do the players take this? How's this going to change things going forward? Is the NCAA, as we know it, changed forever? Are the players now going to get paid from all the money that's generated on these sports? Like, where do you think it's going from here, Pay?
Well, if they take the deal, yeah, they'll start getting checks directly from their institutions. The questions that are starting to arise from this is, how does this help the non-revenue sports? Because it seems like there's going to be a cap. I think I heard 20 million is the most.
21 million.
21 million would be the most, but there's no designated. There's no structure to it as of yet. The way the things have been reported on it as of right now.
But you know that 21 million is annual pay.
Right.
You know that's annually 21 million.
Yes. Yeah. So as of right now, from
what's
per
player?
No, it's $21 million per. So the Super 5 conferences, there's five super conferences. Every team in those Super 5 conferences will get $21 million a year annually. And that has nothing to do with the 2 point whatever billion. That's different set of a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. A lot. Well, the biggest concern right now is Title IX.
Yeah.
How does this affect Title IX? Will the other non-revenue sports take a further hit? Will they be discontinued because they're not a part of this pay structure? If there is one, will they get paid at all if they continue? Or will they just be playing for free as well? What was interesting to me, the comments shortly after this was from the Notre Dame president. And he said, they need to take this back to Congress and this, that, and the third. Players come to school to learn, not to play sports or to be professional athletes.
Stop it.
Yada yada yada. I think he's being delusional, but you know how people are when they're protecting their money. Because Notre Dame definitely protects their money. if everything works out to the benefit of the student, I'm sorry, let me not use that word, of the institutional athlete employee, if everything works out to their benefit, great. But there are still some concerns, and I'm waiting for some of those to get answered.
Tate, I'm gonna throw it over to you. What's your take on the news you've heard so far, and what do you envision this doing going forward, or how do you think this is gonna play out?
I think it's going to settle down the NIL a little bit, because think about it. These institutions now have money to pay their I'm gonna say employee athletes, pay to athletes, employees. And they're employees first now. You're getting paid. So, you're getting paid to play a sport, but you get to go to school too. But so a lot of the people,
minor league students.
That's a good one. A lot of the individuals we talk about that transfer NIL, they're usually those players that are not playing a lot, right? Like, you a quarterback, you a top recruit, but now you're here sitting behind somebody, and you're gonna leave right away because you want to go somewhere you can get paid, right? That's what it's about. So now these institutions have money. I don't know how it'll be allocated or given out. Like Pay was saying, it's about some of the other non-revenue generating sports. I think everybody will get a little something. But if you're a football team, if you're Michigan B-Dirt and you got a top-notch quarterback and he's getting all kind of NIL money and stuff like that, and you got a blue chip sitting behind him, I'm out of here, I ain't getting to play. Now you can give him a little something to sit the bench and wait his turn. So I think it'll help change that a little bit. Like we were saying about the non-revenue generating sports, I think they'll get some too. My understanding is that everybody will get a piece of the pie. Now, maybe if you are bringing something to more to the table, maybe you get to eat more, but everybody gonna get something. That's my thoughts on it so far.
All right, Big G, go ahead, Tate.
No, I'd have to dig more into it, Pauls, to come up with.
Listen, there's a lot of digging I got to do this weekend. I got to read more about it. I've been working a lot. I've listened to some things while I was driving to and from places for work. But I've read some stuff, but I'm not as vested as I want to be. I got some initial thoughts and opinions, but I saved G for last because I know he's plugged in a little bit more than most, and probably has a lot to say on this one. So what's your take on it, G?
First of all, man, thank you for saving me for last, because I got some stuff for y'all. On the Level Up College Football podcast 6 weeks ago, me and Andy P told everybody that the NC2A was full cooked. We told everybody. We had people that responded to us and said, you guys are crazy. Little did they know that Andy had the inside information about what was going to happen with the NC2A. And it's happening just like how we talked about it 6 weeks ago on the pod, and we brought it up every week since then. The NC2A concerning the Super 5 conferences is cooked. There is not going to be no more NC2A for the Super 5. They're going to separate. They're going to form their own conference, their own stuff, and they're not going to deal with the NCAA anymore. That's happening. Number two thing we said, that when this lawsuit happens, what was generating the lawsuit was that there was a lawsuit that was filed in Massachusetts for these kids from this school. And what they were saying is, if we're employees, we're going to unionize. We're going to have payroll salary. We're going to have payroll tier. We're going to set it up just like a regular employee. That's the whole reason why the NC2A broke the bag out, because what they're trying to do is save themselves, because they've had this money all along. And actually, to be honest, they lowballed them off the payoff, because they're only paying kids from 2016 to the current date with the back money of the $2 billion, which they should be paying kids all the way back, heck, almost to the time where I played college football. Everybody made money off a kid's name, image, and likeness forever. So everybody should be getting a bag or some money off of this. So if they got $2 billion sitting in reserve, how much you think they actually got? NC2A while you over there playing. But they're cooked. It's over. And what's going to happen is because of these Super 5 conferences, we all know that football is king. So what's going to happen is instead of you having 105 player minimum rosters on these conferences, on those teams, you're going to see them jump up to about 120, 121 kids on scholarship. And you're going to see revenue dump big time into the football program, which in turn is going to help feed that $21 million that all of them are getting. That's going to make it even or fair concerning the NC2A moving forward in the Super 5 conferences. But NC2A, I've been saying it for 6 weeks or more. You are fully cooked. It is over. The NC2A is done. So get used to it. It's
Choco.
Was you talking about Dartmouth?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
AFL 67 touched on something that I heard earlier in the chat. Said I heard talk about football leaving the NCAA and having its own separate division of the Power 5, and then starting their own league, and then the other sports from the universities would stay under the NCAA under the way the new deal goes.
No, they're going to separate. They're all those Power 5 and that new conference. I don't know if I sent y'all that grid already to show the layout, because they leaked it already, how those conferences and how they got those extra little teams, because they're going to realign this thing. They're going to say Northwest, Southeast, Midwest. They're going to realign the way that the teams are in these brackets, because it's 70-something teams. And they're going to push them all into one thing, and they're going to become their own thing because they generate entirely too much money. Like I said, if they got $2 billion in the bank to be able to pay everybody off, how much you think they actually sitting on? If I'm giving you $2 billion, how much you think I got? So that ain't going to hurt them. But what's going to hurt them is when they separate, because that's the next stage in the game. And once they separate, the NC2A is cooked. It's over. It is over.
Tim had a comment here that made me, Tim Lyons, that made me think of this as a situation. I have nothing else to say. Get rid of it all. The college teams and send them to the CFL, UFL, AAA ball, whatever. It's all about the Benjamins. I think he took it too far, but do you see maybe a situation where we have like we have in the NBA, where if a young man doesn't want to go into college and do that, maybe he can go to a CFL or a UFL for a year and then go in the NFL?
If the NFL continues to change the rules to make it where it's not as physical as it like it used to be back, in the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, I could definitely see them reducing the age limitations, because right now, concerning with the NC2A, you have to be 3 years removed. So you got to either be a redshirt sophomore or a junior to declare for the NFL. But if they change the rules, continue to change the rules to make it where it's not as physical, I could see them getting a supplementary thing where they drop the age down. You got to be 20 years old to go pro. I can see that.
And we all know on this podcast that the young men at 19, 20 years old right now that are playing in the NCAA look a lot different than they did when we were 19, 20 years old.
Yeah, sports science is boss.
You can leave. You don't have to go to college. You can go to the UFL if you like to. You can go to the CFL if you like to. You can, chill out and wait until you're 3 years removed. However, these colleges, they're not putting on sports because doing anybody else a favor. They're putting on sports to put money in their pocket.
Big facts.
They got all the TV. They get all the TV deals. They got all the. They got all the
donors.
Right. They got all the avenues. If you want to showcase your talent to the NFL, are you best suited going to play for college, or are you best suited to go to Canada or play for the Rocks League?
Well, I'm sure.
Why would you do any of that?
I'm sure the best of the best get paid more by going to college, and they still going to get NIL deals more than they would in the UFL.
So I don't think it. Anybody making an argument that the players are just being, they got their hands out or, being greedy or anything like this. No, it is a two-way street. These schools, they've been doing it for years. They've been making money hand over fist off of the labor of the players, right?
Big facts.
So they're not putting these sports on. Notre Dame isn't playing football just because people want to play football, right? They're playing football because NBC is giving them a lot of money to play football. Let's just cut the crap here. If they want to cut this, if they want to cut out from the NCAA and pay the players, then fine, great, cool. Let's do that.
Breaking news. Cincinnati Reds 9, Los Angeles Dodgers 6.
Oh, so you're not even watching basketball?
I'm switching. That game's over now.
I would have lost. I lost that bet.
Oh, you thought looking at basketball?
Yeah.
I think that
I figured baseball was over by now.
Yeah, I think that game.
Not really. It's 75-67 with 3 minutes left in the 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah, I don't know. So all three of us are in a situation, or all three of our teams are in a situation where if a lot of people are worried about the NIL deal, and if this new deal goes to where there's a percentage share possibly going forward to each university based on the money that comes in from these, rather than going to the league or going out. I've heard a whole bunch of people worried about this, that, and the other, where there's more haves. The haves get really big, and the haves not get really small.
For facts.
With Michigan, Ohio State, North Carolina. I mean, would you even notice if they didn't have a football team in 2 years? You're a basketball school, but you look at those programs, they're always going to have money and be there. You know what I mean? They're storied programs. But it's interesting, you're not going to have the Big Ten is now going to probably go back to the Big Ten if that's going to be the haves and the have-nots in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how that's all going to play out. There's a lot that's up in the air right now for me.
Yeah, no conference. It's over. It's going to be the semi-league. 77 teams semi-league.
Really disappointed that Tate didn't even flinch at that stray I threw at him.
No, North Carolina lightweight is improving, and now you're gonna give him another $21 million.
I know. I threw that soft toss up there for him to rebuttal, and he just not. I just took it on the chin.
Oh, you was right.
He don't like North Carolina football, so it don't matter.
If they disappeared, I would. They did.
But they won't. That's the thing. Those big.
Stop cheating.
You're on it. You're on it, Peter. They're not going to. What's going to happen is those schools are going to pump money into their programs. And when they pump that money into their programs, they're going to listen. Vanderbilt, just go look. If you're out there listening to us in podcast land, go look to see how much money Vanderbilt just dumped into their football program. Go look at their facilities or what they just did. They understand what time it is. You spend money to make money. And now you get another $21 million.
We all should just, realize with this type of conversation and all this other stuff, college football is the number 2 sport in this nation.
Facts.
It's leapt over the NBA. It's leaped over baseball a long time ago. It's NFL and college football. College football is an economy. Football is an economy. This is bigger than just paying kids. This is as you just said, G, no one would care about the Commodores if football wasn't attached to it. Football is going to pay for a lot of stuff in that little town.
Yeah, absolutely. And the bread is coming. So, and they're not students anymore. That's the last thing I'm gonna say. I'm leaving it alone. They're not students.
Yes.
They're not students. They are athletes that are there for a 3 to 5 year window to make your university as much money as it possibly can. That's what they are.
You go to college to learn how to be whatever it is you want to be in life, right? You go to college to study your profession. Your chosen profession is sports.
Correct. That's it in totality.
All right. Let's talk some NBA before we get out of here. We got a 5-point game right now. T-Wolves are beating the Mavs. Tough break for the Knicks. Mash unit went on the way out there. But as you guys see it right now, who you got winning these? Cher, we haven't been on since the new series. Tate, let's start over to you. Haven't heard you for a hot minute. Who you got winning these two?
I picked the Timberwolves and the Celtics, of course.
Of course.
I think
the Celtics, of course, but you did make a comment about the Celtics in our group chat. If you'd like to share that with everybody.
Remind me what I said.
You said the Celts ain't winning no championship.
I said that?
Player.
Yeah.
You did say
it's
that.
It's in the group chat.
Yeah, you did say that.
I don't know. I wouldn't have had them losing none of the series that they've been in. I wouldn't have them losing to Miami. No, I probably would pick the West team against them.
Yeah.
But the Timberwolves and the Celtics, I probably would pick the Timberwolves. Yeah. But, I mean, fair. The Celtics are perfectly capable of winning the championship. I wanted you not to forget, because we talked about it last week, B-Dirt, about the Caitlyn Clark and what LeBron James had to say about her this week. Can I play it with clip?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane for the first time in their league history. You know, they flew private. That should be celebrated in its own right. From anyone that's, you know, in sports that's flown commercial or flown, you know, charter, that should be celebrated. And it's because of Caitlyn Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up. Caitlyn Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA. But for her individually, I don't think she should get involved on nothing that's being said. Just go have fun, enjoy. People need to realize the Indiana Fever, this is the second year in a row they had the #1 pick. So do y'all know what that means? That means they're not that good. They had back-to-back years as the #1 pick.
Why are you a hater on the Fever, man?
No, I am a realist. Like, because not only like I get like people are just like crazy about why she should be doing this and they should be doing that. If she's so great, this team, like it's still a team game, people.
People were having discussions, us included, last week, talking about Caitlyn Clark 3 games into the thing. They're 0-5 now. They had won the game since we last was on the show.
They trash.
But like LeBron said, she is the reason that they're going to be making more money in that league.
Yeah. I don't think she's sustainable. I don't think she can sustain it. That's just my opinion.
Reason is a bit strong. Well, he said she's the reason that they flying commercial. I don't. That's a bit far. The deal was struck before she was drafted. There was a team who got the Liberty. The Liberty was flying charter last season. They got in trouble for that. There have been conversations.
Why? Because it's a competitive disadvantage.
That's correct. They have been trying to get a sponsorship deal or some type of league agreement for 5 years, as long as I've been paying attention, for commercial for league wide. So just saying Caitlyn Clark dropped into our laps. Oh, now we got a commercial. Now we got a charter deal. That's not necessarily true.
But there's going to be more butts and seats, more eyes on TV, more concessions sold because there's more butts and seats.
Oh, yeah, that's you can't even dispute that. I think what's it been 6?
Right. Well, that's part of it. With more money comes more perks.
Yeah, well, that's more butts and seats is the one thing that we can say distinguish. We can actually say that because I think it's been 6 teams that say we're going to move. We're not going to play at our usual facility when the Fever come to town. We've sold more tickets. The demand is high enough. We're going to move to the NBA gym, or we're going to move to one of the college neighboring college gyms just when we play the Fever. So butts and seats is the one thing that we can say that Caitlyn Clark is affecting as of right now. As I've been paying attention, the ratings have been elevated for her games right now, but we'll see how that affects dollars and cents going forward.
I think it's been elevated for everybody. I mean, no matter, her games obviously get more viewers, but still the WNBA is getting more views thus far in the season they have in any other season.
That's been a 10-year climb. Over the last 10 years, every year the ratings have gone up steadily.
Yeah, I won't dispute you because you pay attention to it. I actually have watched 2 full WNBA games this year. Only one of them was Caitlyn Clark.
I saw somewhere. I think it was the opening night. The Caitlyn Clark had a double hitter. She was the first game. They had 2.1 million viewers. It was for the second game. It was less than 500,000. So she is a draw. She is a draw. No one's disputing that. So we got to give it some space. We got to let it breathe. Let's see over time where the Caitlyn Clark effect, how it touches.
From a business aspect or business sense, Caitlyn Clark is what the definition of a cash cow. They're going to make money fast off of her because her name's hot. She cannot sustain this.
My question, why can't she sustain it? How long did Sue Bird play?
Because she trash.
Bird,
she doesn't. She don't have.
Come on, man.
Are you
saying
who's trash? Who's trash?
Let me clarify this.
Tate,
no, not
you
Sue
need to
Bird.
start.
Let me clarify this.
I just want to know who's trash, Bird or Clark.
I'm about to explain it. She cannot play in the WNBA unless she changes completely. She cannot. It's already been shown. Physically,
red card.
You can say red all you want to, yes, but look at what she's doing in the WNBA. I think she leads.
She's leading scorer. She's leading. She's no longer leading turnovers.
She was leading in turnovers.
She was. She no longer is. You're gonna give her more than 5 games to adjust to the WNBA or no?
No, this is what I'm.
Kobe Bryant is a bust. Is trash to you?
No,
because that's the way he played his first year.
No, Kobe was not a bust. No,
correct. But if you call the game, he didn't get in. He didn't hardly play.
Kobe had a physical advantage over everybody that he played when we came into the league. Kobe physically had more athletic gifts than you ever saw. LeBron James had more physical athletic gifts than anything you saw. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had more physical athletic gifts when he came in. Irvin Magic Johnson had more physical athletic gifts. Caitlyn Clark is a small person. She's not going to be able to get those three-point shots and all that little magical stuff she does at this level.
She's leading scorer. She's the leading scorer for rookies right now.
Oh,
you can't say she's trash.
Rookies?
This is the same thing you said about Luka for way too long. You stop having this. Listen,
Caitlyn Clark.
Take it back, Big G. Take it back, Big G.
I'm not taking it back. She's hype. She's a cash cow. For right now, she's going to make the WNBA a whole bunch of money, but she's not going to be out there killing them and be this 20 to 25 point scorer, all this, that, and this, and all. She's a hype machine. So, of course, they're going to run the money. But her physical gifts don't line up with what's going on in the WNBA. Those girls are out there killing her.
Why is Steph Curry so good? His physical gifts is not like LeBron James or Kobe or Jordan or any of those guys.
But first of all, Steph Curry is a 6'3", 6'4" guard, and they changed the rules to fit Steph Curry. They went to the Eurocentric basketball. If you put him back when they were playing different, he was going to not be what he was.
Go ahead, Pay. I'm curious what you guys say, Pay.
Listen, man, 2 things can be right at the same time sometimes, right?
As long as none of those are G.
I agree. Even though some of the things G said is fact, it is close to true. But here's something. Caitlyn Clark is really talented, and she's being elevated because she has a hype machine behind her. Those two things are true. Caitlyn, she's being made to be the future women's basketball, and that's not because of something she's doing on her own. And the criticism she's getting behind that is not her fault. The ladies, and a lot of people, it sounds like G is one of them. They want to humble her because of the hype she's getting. Again, not her fault. The hype she's getting is some other elements, and we know what some of those elements are.
We do.
Listen,
white girl of the year.
No, that's not it.
Not up for debate.
Listen. Let me explain those numbers, G. Let me explain those numbers. So you said
you know what? I'm gonna get her one of those hats.
That's not what it is.
The league in turnovers, right? There's a month from NBA draft to the start of the season. 1 month. Do you think you know your teammates? Do you think you know your whole playbook? Do you have a feel for what's going on? When you have 1 month, 10-day training camp. And let me tell you something, more than half the league in the WNBA are on 1-year deals. Half the league are journey women. They move around team to team, and they're coming over from overseas, Russia and wherever else.
Facts.
Right when training camp starts. There's not enough time to build cohesion. So yes, a rookie having a bunch of turnovers is not surprising. I've been watching WNBA since day one, since Rebecca Lobo's running out there with that humongous mouth guard. It's always been a fast-paced, high turnover, high foul game. None of that.
The 5 games she's played, I've watched 4 to 5.
If you watched her, you've seen a lot of mistakes because she does press, and you've seen a lot of her teammates not be in the right spot to play the speed she's playing at.
And I've seen her shot get packed a bunch of times because she doesn't have the physical tools to compete with a guard. Listen, my daughter played. If my daughter would have tore her Achilles, my daughter would have played probably Division I college basketball. And women's basketball, physical tools give you all the difference. If you have a 6'2" guard lined up against Caitlyn Clark or a 6'3" guard, she's going to pack her shot every time. She's going to make her uncomfortable and not give her the ability to shoot.
In women's college basketball, if you're 6'3", you're probably a front court player.
That's correct.
There's a lot of
Angel Reese is 6'4".
There's a lot of 6-foot-plus guards in the WNBA, a lot. And them girls, and the women, not even call them girls, those women in that league, they ain't having it. They're not going to let her come in and, oh, she's the chosen one. They've been down there busting their behind, grinding, trying to make sure they ain't going to let her just come in. The only way she's not going to be a hype machine is if they change the rules. If they change the rules to make it more friendly for her, then yes. Look at some of the screens and stuff she got set on her. Look at how she goes to the basket and she gets knocked over. She doesn't have the physical tools to compete at that level.
And she's still averaging close to a dub. That is historic bucket getting for this league. Close to it. She's averaging close to a dub.
It's like 17 and a half, right?
Close to a dub.
She also leads the league in shots attempts too.
Well, if you watch those games, you understand the offense is ran through her. There is no one else on that team who's getting
Indiana Fever is trash. They trash.
Well, yes, they are. That's why you have the number one, as LeBron said, the GOAT. That's why you have the number one pick 2 years in a row, because you're trash.
I can't wait to revisit this next year.
I want to just throw this out here real quick. Jitnuck's market data has the average height for a WNBA guard at 5'10" for 2024.
How tall is
Caitlyn
Clark?
6 foot even.
Was she getting her stuff packed? I done watched 4 out of the 5 games. Every time she go to the cup, she almost get it blocked. Almost every time. Almost every single time.
She has to make an adjustment.
She's out there backing up.
She's not used to playing against that height and that length. She has to make an adjustment.
She's also
I'm not willing to say she's trash.
She's
a hype. I'll take back a trash, but she's a hype machine. She is a hype machine, and she's a cash cow.
Yes, she is
hype. She's a hype machine. She's a hype machine and a cash cow.
Some would say overhyped. That's fine. She's still really good.
I don't know about all that.
She's averaging almost 18, 17.8, 4.5
right.
rebounds.
So we got way off track. We're overtime, and we haven't talked about the NBA playoffs. Can you tell me who you got real quick? Pay Mavs, Wolves. Who you got?
Wolves.
Celtics, Pacers. Who you got?
Boston.
I've already got you down on this. G, Mavs, Wolves.
The Dallas Mavericks.
He went all the way.
Hey, put your
From
gator back
hate-
on. Put the gator back on.
From hater to player. Big G come full circle. Pacers, Celtics.
Boston.
Player.
All right, Tate. You got the T-Wolves and the Celtics. You gave us that before this all went off the tracks. I also have the Wolves and the Celtics as well.
And I want to watch the game with Kevin Garnett.
And I'm gonna tell you where we stand right now going into this. Pay, you are good news, bad news, bringing up the rear, but you're over 500 picking series. You're 7-5. Big G and Tate are tied at 8-4, and I'm 11-1 because the Knicks couldn't stay healthy.
Wow, you was perfect before that?
Yep. I was 10-0 going into that the last day.
We all probably lost that one though. I know I picked the Knicks.
No.
No, Big G picked Indiana.
I think
I picked the
Big G
Pacers.
had the Pacers.
Yep.
So you got hurt because they got hurt, and he got one more series because they got hurt.
That's right. He got off of the tie for last with Pay. But
Good
hey,
job,
kudos.
G.
We're all over 500.
Good job, G.
Luka's no longer trash. We gotta like that.
He'll be.
He's a Dallas fan.
He'll be taking his Caitlyn Clark take back too soon.
No, I want to clarify that. I'm not saying she's trash, but she's hype.
You did.
And I want to see. And I said I'll take that part back. She's all hype and she's a cash cow, and I want to see what she does next year.
I still want to
don't
know
think
what
she's
Sue
got-
Bird got to do with this.
Favorite type of cat. My favorite.
Well, I brought
cow.
Sue Bird up, but I know Sue Bird played a long time,
Oh yeah. She played like almost 20 years.
and I think Big G, when we first started, had said she's not going to last. I mean,
She ain't.
she got time to correct it. I said, how long did Sue Bird play?
You got top 3 cows: dairy, black Angus, cash cow. Boom.
Big facts.
Mark it down.
Player.
All right, we're gonna have to save we're inside the NBA for later. I mean, unless you want to go over 10 minutes over.
We don't
No,
got
we
to
got
take
time.
10 minutes.
Oh, well, that's a deep call. We can talk about that.
It
next
is
week.
Yeah, okay.
inside the
Yeah.
NBA. The NBA is gonna be played on a bunch of different places next year. We'll get into that next week, and we'll talk about inside the NBA. Shed a tear to probably the best sports show going right now, other than the homies. So, yeah, that's a rough one. We'll say that for later. Parting comments. Pay, you got anything?
Check us out at Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan on YouTube and anywhere you get your pods for the Chi City Bulletin Board and the Bear Claw.
Wow.
Saves a lot of time. That's efficient. I like that.
This is a
Check out all the
30-second
channels.
commercial. I like it. All right, Big G, anything you want to say on the way out?
Nah, man, we got 11 weeks in counting. Make sure y'all swing over to Level Up, man, on Monday, man, because we're going to have an in-depth conversation about this NC2A with me and Andy. But we got like 11 or 12 weeks to go till it's NFL time and college football time. So we almost through. And happy Memorial Day to everybody. Y'all be safe traveling. Please be safe. Get home back to your families. It's going to be a rough weekend. They're talking about this might be the largest traveling time in 10 years. So
Yeah.
please be safe. Please take care of your families and get home safe. And we'll see all y'all next week for sure.
Tate, I'll say this before I let you take it out. Definitely happy Memorial Day. Remember what it's about. For those of you that watch Running Through the Jungle, you kind of heard Tim say this. Tim Lyons is a veteran. And Memorial Day is always one of those things that it's about the people who didn't make it home, didn't make it back.
Yeah.
He made a comment. It's about fallen brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
I made the comment that reminds me every year, freedom isn't free. But I will say this. Just because you made it back to soil doesn't mean a part of you wasn't left there.
Big facts.
Or wasn't lost there. So I keep it for everybody that's struggling as well as the people that are no longer with us. So happy Memorial Day. Remember what it's about. Tate, take it away.
Yeah, man. Thanks for that, B Dirt, because you're absolutely right. Shout out to everybody who has family members that have served and lost their lives, and family members that are serving even now that are still here. Shout out to all those people. I know for myself, my sister been gone since February over in Germany. She's works in naval intelligence. She's a reserve naval officer, but she's been gone for 6 months. So not only do those of us sacrifice when we lose somebody, when somebody's still here and her family is sacrificing right now. My brother-in-law really sacrificed with all those 3 little kids.
You got a team over there.
Oh, does he? But yeah, man. So remember the reason, man. So yeah, like Big G said, be safe. And we gonna let Pay take us out. I won't be so slow with the outro this time.
Lock up Brett Favre.
Player.
Yeah, hit the player, Pay.
Player.